Gamers, it's map number 2 of the game of the day, Excel versus Finest. Excel, they find themselves in the lead, proving that they can take Finest on their own map pick. But Finest, they're still hungry for revenge. They want that opportunity to prove themselves. So let's see whether or not they're going to be able to do it. I'm Janiro, your host, joined once again by MP. This time, we have Moxie on the desk. Let's hear your thoughts about last game.
Well, I mean, at first it really looked like Excel had everything on lock, right? We were thinking, okay, this is going to be a nice fast one. And then Finest started coming back. They were able to come in with some really nice rounds. Bonka able to stop a lot of those spike plants coming on through, allowed them a lot more breathing room, starting to recover that economy. But at the end of the day, Excel were just able to apply that clutch factor just a little bit too much.
Yeah, the clutch factor is something that every single one of the players on the XL roster seems to have. I don't know whether it's something that they're eating, whether I don't really know, but if you guys have an answer, please do let us know, because we'd like to have that clutch factor as well. But MP, you mentioned something about Chihuahua that you want to bring up from the last game specifically as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. You play as a Viper. Yeah, right. You think as a Viper player, you don't really get that many entries. Yeah, sure, on the defending side when you're holding the sides, but Chihuahua with actually 8 entries on that match, or on that map rather, 11 times he challenged entry duels. Obviously 3 lost then, but 8 entries as a Viper is so huge, leaves so much room to your duelist. Alive obviously played with the chamber, so kind of pseudo duelist, but still leaves so much room. And most of that is because Chihuahua was allowed to have that space around B, around mid, getting that lurks done, getting those flanks done, but also the lurk control. When Excel is pressuring like A side, Chihuahua is holding B side. He's holding for those pushes, and instantly when Finest pushes out, Chihuahua is gonna punish them.
Yeah, we're gonna be heading on to Haven, the map with the 3 sites where we can be going to. And again, that's going to be really the bread and butter of Chihuahua. He likes to play the Cypher, the Lurking Cypher, the Anchor Cypher. Same for the Viper. Are you expecting this to be something to see this map?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting to see whether or not we see the usual compositions coming out from both of these teams, or whether they go for something a little bit different. For Finest, they have a couple more options to really pull into. They do like to sometimes run the Astra. Yeah. In fact, they've run it 16 times in the past when they've played on Haven. So we might actually get to see it, because if you do have that flanking sentinel coming around, you do want something that always is going to have constant vigilance and also constant utility being there to pressure to make sure that that flank isn't successful.
Yeah, I think this Haven is going to be the classic, though, that they played in Week 7 against Heat. It's going to be the Breach, Cypher, Jet, Omen, and Sova. It's kind of the meta nowadays to go back onto that old composition, especially if you don't really want to go for the Chamber. I think Chamber is really hard on this map if you don't have like a race around it, if you don't have another Jet player. So it's really suitable for Excel to go for that Jet, go for that Cypher, especially because of Chihuahua obviously on the roster. Yeah, Chihuahua can flex on Viper and even Reyna if we go to split. But this composition just feels so good for Excel. And one thing that they said, they don't really feel that Fade Race composition now. A lot of the teams want to go for the Fade Race, maybe even just to say that we have Fade Race, but they really still like this Cypher, Jet, Sova, and I can see why. Their team, the players in the team fits that composition perfectly.
Yeah, that's the thing with Excel. You know, every single one of their players, they know what they want to play, they know how they want to play it, but then we're looking at Finest, and they have to prove themselves this map. And do they have a good track record here on Haven?
It's not their map pick. Let's leave it at that. Finest, they were the ones who picked Icebox. They were the ones who were expecting to get off on a really good start, right? Shutting Excel down, trying to make sure that their duelists, their chambers don't have that confidence to go for that map control, because Haven is all about map control. As much as you can get as soon as these rounds begin, Excel is going to be all over it. And it's going to be a little bit harder for Finest to try and find that confidence themselves now, because they had some really good moments.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really the duelists who were coming out and being those standout players that we were constantly highlighting, constantly talking about, right? It was players like Bonka, who was able to just come in, being there, making sure that you're still alive, you're coming in at those crucial moments and stopping all of that power, all of that momentum Excel were trying to find.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Finest is going to have a hard time, especially if they go with the composition that they have played. They basically have the same composition as Excel, but they have switched the Dualist and the Sentinel. Obviously, they have the Chamber and Raze. So I think they should go for something like KO. I think it's really tough for them right now playing against Excel with this composition. Excel is known to have really, really high pressure early on the round, especially in A lobby, pushing down mid. So I think what they need to do is shut down that utility from the bridge, shut down the jet aggressive angles, and I think they could really have a good map in hand. But with this composition, I just don't see a good day for them.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a look at whether or not the composition that Finest is going to be running is going to be exactly what we expected or not. So both of these teams have locked in their agents. Cypher for Chihuahua, exactly what we expected to see.
Yeah, no surprises. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a Fade Raze coming out from either of these two teams. Them pretty much just sticking together with what they found. Interesting enough, XL fielding the Jet instead of the Chamber does mean that Finest have a little bit more leeway, a little bit more survivability when it does come to that early points of contact, which they should be able to spiral into a lot of map control. But the emphasis is on should, because XL are getting away with rounds that they should not have on Icebox.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the pick Finest that has on Raze, because you can have that Yasin comfort pick, but I think it's still gonna be a little bit tough.
Okay, whether or not Finest is going to have that shot at proving themselves, that shot at revenge, find out on this episode with Nikai and Pavlos.
This episode, we're entering the second map of the series of Finest versus Excel, and no changes in agent composition means that anti-strutting may be coming into play?
Potentially, and this is sort of Excel's bread and butter. They're very, very good at breaking down teams and, well, manipulating their kind of usual tees against them, I think is one way to put it. Now we're looking towards, of course, where it's going to be the map pick of Excel. They've already got a map under their belt too. Things are looking pretty good for them. Finest, backs against the wall. I don't like using the trope, but you got to use it here. If diamonds are made under pressure, and this is where we need to see Finest step up. But if we're going to follow any sort of trend, Finest hate a map one, but they're king to the reverse sweep.
They really are, man. Oh, I do love seeing my Chihuahua on that Cypher.
So happy.
Look,
so
God.
Happy.
Keep your minds on to this guy, because he'll be...
nuisance.
He really is, man. He goes on these little walks every so often, and he does so much. Whether that is info, whether these are kills and multi-kills, and see, already pushing up mid. He's going for a little walk. This time punished. Machina puts him to his grave, and does spot out some further movement towards mid. But they do leave Bonker all alone towards the east side, even though Kix is coming in for reinforcements. But either way, Excel, this looks where they want to push right now.
Yeah, double swing coming through from lower as well. Bonker close and personal. Utility coming out directly. In fact, not exactly what Foxy was wanting as a greeting. He's going to fall away.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, all right, okay. Now we can start to have a conversation back over towards B.
Yeah, they can start moving in now. Dark cover, closing out Yasin, but he's a player that wants to peek out through a dark cover, and he gets a kill. Okay, you can't really feel comfortable get the spike down. He's rotated all the way around, and he's even getting another kill. Paint shield's thrown out and alive, but it's destructive to shut him down before the paint canisters do get to him. And Pattytech, all of a sudden, scratches his head and wonders, where on earth did everybody go? Because I hear no one in my comms.
In the general kind of gist of that round, realistically speaking, one of the things I mentioned about being the biggest trope that Excel seem to have on a consistent basis, which is a negative, is that they seem to lose that man advantage so quickly and so consecutively. We saw it once again here. Machina finds the opener, and then for Finest, all they have to do is play the numbers game. Yes, there's a little bit of brilliance from Yasin, but they do make things quite difficult for themselves. But what is to be said is that is the first pistol round that XL have lost this entire playoff series. They haven't yet to lose one apart from just then. Is this now going to be the reverse sweep, the start of something?
Is it?
Out the way and say.
We do it in this episode. Will Finest get one map closer to the reverse sweep, equalizing things up? You do love to see these marshals connecting shots, especially when it's Machina doing the connecting. Aftershock looking to interrupt the plant. It will not, but it'll definitely put damage onto Foxy's body, burnt to a crisp, as Kix now is looking to shut down the rest. Chihuahua on a solo mission, and it's put to an end very quickly. Not only is it flawless, but is damageless on the Excel side.
Yeah, a really comfortable round. I mean, not too much to take away from that. I mean, for Finest, had a complete disparity in terms of firepower. We saw that. It was just mainly the pistols for XL, that one Marshall coming through from the likes of Chihuahua. It wasn't really going to find too much, realistically speaking. Now we can start having a real conversation. Full buy coming out for XL. This is where we need to see them kickstart a bit of their own momentum, especially on that attacking side. Some teams prefer the attacking side on this map. It's one in which we can find a lot of space because, you know, 3 bomb sites means that, of course, you are spread kind of thin at times on the defensive side. And for XL, they need to make use of that.
Well, early movement towards the A main position for Excel, but simultaneously Finest fancy to take control over mid. Look how far Kicks is going. Wow.
I like this.
Chihuahua's forced back as well after shot. They're showing that they're here. They're not scared to show Excel that they're looking to fight for this position. And this is making it very uncomfortable for Excel to make a decision on an attack. Rotating is difficult.
Yeah, but at the same time, what I do like there is they fall away. Don't overextend, because that can be super costly, especially with a low buy.
But it buys time at least. And Excel need to think twice before approaching mid now. Maybe expend some utility and have less towards the sites. Kicks is able to avoid the shock dart. But movement in mid commences. Split A as well. Machina quickly out of the round. Foxy makes sure of that. But they still don't over-aggress. They pivot towards the A site, especially considering how deep Alive is in this long control. Left. But Finest still have some chips in this bag.
Yeah, I mean, time's of the essence here. Now they need to make a committal play. 23 seconds. They need to make a decision.
They have to move in fast. That they do. Alive looking to pre-fire, but it's not in time. Oh, Destructive is able to read that no problem. And it seems that Finest are winning out of most of these kills, but they're still running out of time. 30 seconds, and that is where the spike goes down. And we're looking at Finest being on the back foot.
I mean, they were ever so slightly their own worst enemy and making that a little bit more uncomfortable than it needed to be, right down to the final margins. Now from heaven, you see spraying away with a labor spray at that. Foxy will be able to easily, comfortably clean that one up. It's one man, it's Kicks. A Spectre in hand at a 1 versus 3. You might be able to get a little upgrade, potentially even a kill, but even that's a big ask. Ding comes out. That's all he does fine, though. Just like that, XL on their first full buy will pick up a round in their favor. Deficit down to only 1. But of course, now, Finest can reply with a full buy of their own, and Maka's got that operator.
Yeah, how much damage did they inflict there, right? I think they got a couple of kills, you know, made it a little bit
dink as well
for them. A dink, so it means that you need to upgrade those shields once again, so...
Silver linings.
There's some silver linings out there, but the moral of the story is we're looking at a buy versus buy, and this could dictate the pace for the first half in this Haven map pick.
And the big thing as well is that there's no operator in response from XL. They don't have the funds to be able to try and contest that, so that could be dicey. Uh-oh.
Alive avoiding the paint canisters by updraft. Just indeed. Foxy has to fall in the meantime across mid. Machina fancied his push and backed out of it quickly enough. He's got his crossfire on the entry. As soon as Paddytech walks through it, you better know that hot lead will be thrown onto his body. It's just a matter of timing, isn't it, at this point? Reinforcements arrive for Excel. They really do fancy this B site take, but Alive is also on a venture towards that A site. At the same time, utility thrown towards Garage. So much information given over to Finest, but it's on all fronts.
And we haven't seen them going for a proper C take yet. They haven't really tested those waters. They don't have an inkling of how Finest like to set up over towards C. This could be the chance. Are they going to go for the split through B? And I think they might even be wanting to. Macken are going to fall. That's important. And Mo finds himself 2 more. What a man. B side on the control. Spike goes down. Is this round GG?
Excuse you, Mo. I think you need to ask before you do that. Seems illegal to me. Finest now with 2. Monka and Destructive. That's a Chihuahua, which will not be fighting that. That is a Bonker that quickly falls to his death, and that is Destructive. That will also do as such. Excel, equalize. That is Finest's buy round out of the window. I
mean, it's not his job, but it's a Mo masterclass on the entries, finding himself 3. That's brilliant. Individual brilliance, mechanical prowess of the highest regard. Fine Excel, they're second on the board. Now, this game tied all square, and that was the first kind of true test and the true showing for us of what these two sides are gonna be like on their sort of full buys, right? I mean, especially when you consider that Finest had an operator come into that was put to no use. and very, very easily XL were able to dispatch of it. Now you look over towards Finest, Economy in the bin.
It is indeed. Very aggressive here from Yassine. He's 2 orbs away from getting himself the showstopper. Obviously, risks have to be taken to both of the extremities. We see a double push, a buddy system. Kicks, the only defender of that B site. Bonka will be the first to fall towards A. As it seems that Machine has fallen back from that fight. Kicks looking for a pick there, but there's just too many players to deal with, and that simply should unravel in Excel's favor. Unless Yassine looks a bit more damage.
I mean, either way, whatever they find here, another kill.
Wait a second! This could be doable for Finest. Yassine has found himself a weapon, and he's up against 2 and knows exactly where both of them are.
I was going to build the narrative, you know, find a couple of kills as a silver lining on an eco, but now there's potential for them to win this round. Yassine, of all the men you want in this situation, it's him.
This is crazy. Even if he gets 1 kill, he's also got a showstopper, by the way.
Yes, you too.
Double blast pack. The bot, but he's also scared of giving away his own position. Oh, that's Alive. That's damage onto Yassine. This complicates the issue. Alive just falls back. Foxy knows what. Oh, that's a gun! Blast back to the corner. Oh, another blast back to the corner. That's another kill. Now he's got the showstopper. Alive is swinging!
No.
Oh, no! So close! But Alive gets it done in the end.
Oh, Yassine, the idea is phenomenal. I mean, what a way to isolate both of those 2 fights. He gets so close, but so far. It's just brilliant. The idea was there, but the execution not quite up to par. But that is a cracking effort for the par. I've got to give them, I mean, credit where credit's due. To find that many kills on that sort of buy is substantial of its own regard. Fair play. XL, yes, they pick up a lead. Yes, they pick up a 3rd round on the board, but they weren't half-tested.
I think I'm losing my mind. Yassine just casually walking in mid and grabbing a kill. He will have to pay for it with his life, though, and has to chill. I think XL just say, sit down, mate.
They do, but again, in another scenario, XL lose the man advantage, and it's immediately into the round. This has been their biggest thorn on their side, and it's not only been this series, not only been this or the last map, it's been this entire tournament.
Ah, well, they managed to stabilize the previous round. It could have gone even further wrong if they would have lost up against the Sheriff by Bonka. That's an opening. That was in the A site. Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is really through a smoke. Destructive just finds 2. That easily? And, okay, Foxy has traded it, but he's got a long way to go. They're all around him, but he's going circles around him himself. TP away, but is out into the open, and Kix knows exactly where that TP landed. And we're looking at an equalized board.
Love to see. I mean, both of these 2 sides are really starting to show their mettle. I said, Finders come alive. They show their best Valorant when it comes to them being under pressure, backs against the wall, all the pressure heavy on their shoulders. This is when they step up, and now they're starting to. XL, yes, this is their map pick, but already we're starting to see brilliance shining through from Finest, and a couple of rookie errors creeping in from XL, a side who, so far this season, have been brilliant. And that spray down is just ridiculous.
Are you kidding me?
Luck's part of the game. It's part of the game.
Me? Yeah, it is. Sometimes it is.
But the thing is, you know, Luck in that sense, he had that lineup ready. He was waiting for any sound cue to just hold that mouse one.
Yeah, you know, it's also game sense.
Exactly.
But that's pretty shot. One man. Okay.
Oh,
that's an interesting opening. That opens up the C position completely in the favor of Excel, though the fact that Foxy falls means that they don't have the pressure of Garage anymore, but Rolling Thunder will be denying it. That allows Machine to move in. Destructive as well from a 2nd position. They're all locked into Cubby. They're looking to capitalize on the space. Finest are not allowing Excel to breathe. They've literally got a hand up on their necks and pushing them up against the wall, but the wraparound is coming in from Excel.
Yeah, the rotate has to come through here. They know there's no way in towards out of the C site. Hang on a second, there's a Penta maneuver coming through here, but the B site's open.
It is. Which is really interesting, right? 2 players per site, polarize your positions, but if the B site does commence, then they can push from 2 directions. Play the trade game. But it seems that we're looking at an A-site scenario.
They've played this well, XL. They know they cannot afford to go towards B. They'll get wrapped.
Oh, Destructive with a really interesting angle. Alive walking in. Destructive stand up, but he's able to hide away. Not even traded. Excel able to stabilize. Equilibrium. And onto the site, the spike will be going down.
And the post plant's come through very comfortably too. Yes, I know U-turn towards heaven, which could be their biggest crux. And Kick's gonna find a freebie.
That's their last flash though. Kicks just used the last flash and he doesn't have reinforcements. Rolling Thunder will be coming out from Excel or DME. Mo does end up falling, but Paditech has to do the heavy lifting. Has to do it all by himself, and he's already got him one. Oh, doesn't check his right side in time. The wraparound is there. Takes too much time to get that flash down over. And that is Machina finding the sideline.
The idea is brilliant by XL. They know they can't afford to go towards B. They were locked out completely over towards C, so they had to only make a committal play over towards that A site. The idea is great. The post plant set up, but without the utility to lock out heaven, they know that anyone rotating through, which in this case was Kicked, is going to be given free reign. And he finds a double, and that was more than enough. Finest, I mean, for me, they're doing what is necessary for them on the defender side. Just at least keeping an arm's distance away. That's all they have to do.
That works.
They really, really do. Okay, now, let's bring ourselves back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Yeah, Mum Spaghetti.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got you.
Okay. All right, yeah, we're looking at Excel here at a predicament, right?
Sure.
They really have to win this round, and you can see how reluctant they are to sort of go too aggressive right at the start.
Yeah, long-term economy in the bin, and lose this round is going to put them in a pretty inopportune space. And on top of that as well, we've seen already on a multitude of occasions that they have lost that opening kill. This time they're going to try and make sure that they just slow things down to give them a better opportunity.
I'm not quite sure if Bonker just got the ult-op on the A site, on A long, but if he hasn't, he's got an opportunity to enable his Hunter's Fury. Well, Yassine will be the solo defender of this B site. Paranoia does miss its mark. Cloudburst, just as a fake, fault line as well. Oh. The fake of the fake.
Trying to bet out some util maybe? They're just slowing things down massively right now.
Nothing was baited though, right?
That's
Finest
it.
used nothing, didn't budge
Don't
an
need to.
inch. The only thing Yassine did is moved out of that B site, a little bit scared of it. Duck cover comes out in time, Recon to the back end of the site, Alive is dashed in, but Yassine's up close. Again, pushing out through smokes. This time, though, not working out. Chihuahua holding back the back line. Spike will be going down, and that is all you need. Full B site control. Bonker out into the open, haven't cleared out this back end corner, and Alive can play the trigger discipline game. Runs out of bullets, but doesn't even matter. There's an insane frenzy going on and nobody knows where Alive is.
Yeah.
Excel on 4 rounds.
The structure was like a deer in headlights. Didn't know where to look. Everywhere but the right position as he just gets domed from the side. Running out of ammo makes no difference. Pull out the pistol. Pistol whipping. It's like a John Wick movie. Fantastic stuff there. I love to see it. Brilliant. As we are starting to see XL find their confidence, it's Alive they fall back on for security. And he, for me, is someone who needs to step up if this XL side really want to find that form. Stunning stuff. And another thing I was really, surprised not to see is the Neuro Theft not coming forward from Chihuahua. He saves it.
Oh, I had a fear that the Painters would have done so much there, but they managed to avoid the fault line, therefore not slowed, and I'm afraid Kix is also dead.
There he is, confidence, running through those waves, pulsating through the veins.
That was a micro play, right?
Yeah.
That was a micro misplay, might I add. The fault line came in a little bit too late, and therefore Excel were able to pass past it, and the Paint Shills did nothing.
And now, I mean, this is so simple. It's all about firepower. In this case, we already mentioned about confidence coming through. Maybe a slight overextension by Alive. He does find that kill on towards site. He tries to go hunting in towards the vendor spawn. Maybe a little bit too risky for me. Might just wanted to secure the site first and then play things out. But he knew he wasn't coming against too much of a buy, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. Not the end of the world. What matters most is XL take the lead once again. Now, look where we stand. Finest. 4 rounds on the board. They're a 1-round deficit. Got a nice comfortable 4-buy coming through. Mackina picking up that operator's also brilliant. But a timeout called. They're feeling the pressure a little bit.
The
Get a little bit
pressure
sweaty.
is on.
A couple of beads dripping on the forehead. They're
It's a bit of,
not looking too comfortable.
bit of sweat.
Windows open, fans on.
It's getting
Drying off the
hairy.
mouse a little bit.
Yeah, we get the idea, Neo. We get the idea, Neo. It's
really
getting hot
giving
in
you a
there. We've all
mental
been
image.
there, summer months playing, gaming.
And the pressure, too.
And the pressure.
Because, of course, for Finest, not only is this XL's map pick, and they're already a map down, but lose this, and they have to take on Hookahs again. And we know how close that game is.
I don't want that.
In my opinion, I'd say that matchup between Finest and Hookahs is the most even matchup of any of the teams in Polaris. And if you get that again in a lower bracket final, that is where things really get spicy for me, because Hookahs, they're not going to give them that mistake again.
That is really squeaky bum.
I know, seriously. Oh, they don't want that at all. I think they would rather have anything else but that, because they know that Hookahs, they've learned their lesson.
Well, let's talk this round in particular. We've got 3 ultimates available for Excel, and that's going to be interesting from the Shadows, Blade Storm, Neural Theft for Chihuahua.
Still not used it.
While only Hunter's Fury on the Finest side. Mid control looking to be taken over. Machina with a very good angle to hold off the back right extremity. Oh! The lineup could have, but didn't. And that means the site can be freely taken over.
God, that'd have been something different. Again, though, the operator being pretty useless, swinging his way back in, kicks and a fine one alive in for the trade destructive. One more of his own, no way.
Foxy going in for more, though, and he's able to trade it back out. Looking at 2v3 right now. Finest had a big back foot, Yassine. He's pushed out from smokes before, and he's doing it again. Oh, this time not spotted, but the Neural Theft will show exactly where he is, and he is a dead man walking.
Easy. I was waiting to see when Chihuahua was going to pop that Neuro Theft. He's had that Neuro Theft for 3 rounds. That was the 4th round consecutively that he would have had that Neuro Theft and not used it. And I was waiting. When is the best time? They've had so many opportunities. That was perfect. It was a 1 versus 3, but they had 0 information on where the last guy of Finest was on that defender side. Pops at the perfect time, guaranteeing a round, and most importantly for me, they guarantee a round with 3 remaining alive, which means the long-term economy is now, realistically, for the rest of this half, never going to be a problem for them. That gives them just that comfortability that they no longer need to worry about economy, worry about whatever they pick up. They can get as much utilities as they want, and it's not an issue.
Yassine. Ooh, destructive. Goodbye. I don't think they realise where Yassine is, though, and that's going to pay dividends at least for Finest for a little while. The trade game will be simple, straightforward. Just putting all the puzzles together. They seem to be simply adding up. And
Easy.
Yeah, Bonka is just that final corner piece.
I don't have too much hope. This is asking a lot. We're just the sheriff.
No.
Okay, all right. Hello. Hello, senor. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, no. Like,
Chihuahua.
It's still a long shot, right? No recon. I mean, well, he's got it in 6 seconds, but... I mean, we're looking at a rolling thunder. We're looking at 3 players with Vandals. We're looking at the fact that Bonka has no information. You're a believer. I see. Justin Bieber fan.
That's a throwback I wish I never heard. It's like a flashback that I wish I didn't have. But now, of course, he has got a Vandal. It's a silver lining, but this is asking quite a lot of him in a 1 versus 3. There's no way they lose this. If they lose this, I
They won't. Come on. Okay.
want to wear Boncon merch for a year.
Does Bonka have merch?
I don't know.
Does Finest definitely has merch.
Yeah. Or for a week. Oh,
no time.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Okay, my God.
There's a lot of yeah, no, okay, and yeah, no, yes.
I was getting up the merch website for a second there, like, Jesus, that was a little bit close there.
Bonka, if you don't have merch, we want your hoodie.
Yeah.
Anyway, 7-4, 1 round remaining in the half. The buy will come in from Finest. How do they close the gap before it's too late on the defensive side?
If it gets to an 8-4 half, this map this series has done in my eyes. It's then that question that we speak about oh so often of too little too late. That nails are starting to be, you know, hammered into the coffins already, and Finest just will struggle, especially on their attacking side, to really build up that consecutive momentum coming forward. This asks just a little bit too much.
Yassine so far has been using that showstopper very aggressively, and it looks like he will be doing that again together with the fault line. Oh no, it's just his Paintuals, and it's just his weapon, and more of them are coming! Oh, get your weapon out!
Oh,
get your weapon out, Yassine! Oh dear, how would you expect them to push out the smoke like that? But we're looking at a 3-on-3, and they're looking to go even further, ever quicker towards that C site. Destructive, no more. Machina is the next player in contention, and Bonka is looking to assist them. They're not relenting pressure, though.
I know where he is.
They're holding up. Oh, Alive is in such an off angle. There's no way you expect that position, and he's still alive. Alive is still alive. Go figure. Foxy with a bullet between the 2 eyes of Bonka. That is Excel on 8, Finest on 4.
And I gotta say now, with an 8-4, a 4-round deficit for Finest to claw their way back into not only this map, but this series, is for me just now starting to ask a little bit too much, especially because we know how proficient XL have been on pistols. Yes, they didn't win the first pistol in towards this map, so there is still a hope and a prayer, but it is asking a lot. The odds aren't impossible, but I gotta say for me, this now feels improbable for them to get back in towards this map. I think XL have just done enough to bridge enough of a gap that they no longer have to be too cautious.
take a deep breath, Finest, I think.
Yeah, slow things down, please. Just relax. Take it easy.
The thing is, man, they had 3 ultimates that round. Rolling Thunder, Showstopper. They just decided to push while they're defending. Through Garage without...
Is that nerves, maybe?
They've always been doing this, man. I think you can throw the nerves narrative out of the window. This is Finest in a nutshell. Foxy has just been given 3 kills. They're just walking in the line of fire. Paddytech is there to help out now, and Foxy has been given more space, more assistance, more comfort. Mo and Foxy, the 2 players you only need to hold down a site on pistols.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching at home and you're slightly new to Valorant, that is a textbook showing for Finest of how not to play a pistol round. That was terrible. The idea was lackluster. The utility was poor, and it was so easy for XL. They didn't even have to clear any angles. They just walk in towards the meat grinder. It's so simple yet so effective, and now we're in a little bit of a worrying point because look at that gap.
In this episode...
Yeah, I think Finest, their aggressive nature, I really like it, but they need to pick and choose their times to use it.
Well, Finest not going for force.
That was close.
It was standing right on top of the orb.
It's true.
So, if you're going to spray down anywhere, you might as well spray down straight slap bang the middle of that long position. That's a foot. That's a head. And 1 + 1 = 2.
Good maths. Proud of you, mate.
Thank you, mate.
We're learning.
We're learning.
Just the last
Getting
time
a science degree at the end of this month.
There we go.
By the way.
Bit of maths in there.
Bit of maths in there.
Speaking of maths, Machina's up to 11 points with a headhunter's asking a lot of him to be able to find some. He's got 4 bullets in the chamber, 5 kills to find. That's asking a lot. Those maths don't add up. That one does, though. Nice shot. Okay.
Oh, wow. Well, he's walked right past Mo, but Mo will stop him eventually. He probably figures out, how did that piece of grass get away from me? Yassine, this is a very... I mean, what else can you expect?
Yeah.
You love Yassine, you love how he plays, you love how fluid he can be.
30 seconds left.
What?
Last player standing.
Okay.
Spike down. C.
Yeah. Neo, any words?
How did it even find the kill? I mean, fair play. I was completely counting them out. Round done. XL up to 10. We can forget about that. It was made a little bit too expensive for my liking with the investment that Finest had, but a 6-run gap.
This brings back the narrative of yesterday, right? Were Excel that much better than Cova? Did Cova basically make Excel look so good? Or were Excel just simply that much better?
Yes.
Right? Yes, the answer.
Yeah.
Both to that. Okay, so
The answer
basically
is
you're
yes.
saying Cova is just bad, Excel is just good, and
No.
that's what... Yeah, I get
think
what
it's
you mean, though.
one of those things. I mean, for XL, if you look on paper, they are the #1 seed, and for a reason, right? And they're now proving it. And also what they are proving to me is it doesn't matter who they come against. They play their playstyle, and it works very well.
I think it's fair to say Finest would have been the main contender of this team, and Live just
That's a
dashes
mistake.
into his death. Yes, it was. Thankfully for them, this is a bonus round, so the gravity of their results in this one are not so heavy. Mo, okay, that's an opener. They've got a 2-player control over short, which is going to make the push from Finest very, very difficult. They're locked between a rock and a hard place, especially when Fox is able to swing by. That is a free kill, quickly traded down to 3-on-3. Destructive yet to be shown, and that is a free real estate kill if I have ever seen one here from Finest. And it seems that XL are locked on the outside looking in.
It's free real estate. Now, 2 versus 3. Tapping away over. Ghost was asking quite a lot, I think it's safe to say. We'll upgrade to a Vandal, Mo, but this would require something monumental for Mo to find anything in here. Destructive for a 3-piece, close things out. That's 5th on the board. Deficit down to 5. A long road to success. As I said earlier, it's not impossible, but it's improbable, safe to say, as XL are 3 rounds away from the all-elusive 13 to set themselves the map, the series, and a map advantage in the best-of-5 grand final.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves, I think, right now. I think this is a very big and influential round. Finest win this, I don't think we can be talking about the end of this map yet for Excel.
If Excel win this, then it's a
Completely different story.
Yeah, of
exactly, right. Okay, ultimates can start to be built. Weapon rounds, maybe perhaps the only one that Finest can bring out without any difficulties. Missed opportunity there for Alive.
It's close.
Fine margins.
Very, very close. And again now, Finest trying to tempt those waters over towards the A side, but the spike isn't going there.
So much dedication of Excel to hold this A site. Really? interesting. How they just stick to that position, comfortable that it's going to be this take. Aldro now to seek out presence, and they will spot someone out. Therefore, they are happy to stay there.
Look at that spike. Look where it's going. Only one over towards C.
They're trying to take down the tripwires, yet they haven't.
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Execution, not so much.
You know, slight misplacements, micro players can do all the difference sometimes. Alive with a very deep angle. Oh, he could do much. He could do so much. He's scared that they've already pushed past this. Duck cover, of course, will conceal it. Looking to push further. The call has been given out to the rest of Excel. They are on
30 seconds left.
the edge of their seats.
Block the site.
Alive approaching. Oh,
Brilliant.
that's the first kill. That's how Excel want to start this up. Pushing forwards, fault line, very accurate. Catching out both players, you've seen, onto the site, looking to push. Gets a double, and just like that, opens up this round for Finest. Chihuahua not really relieving this pressure. Paranoia would have been so strong, but we're looking at a 2-on-3, and anything is doable, especially when Alive is able to get that angle, doesn't connect with the kill. Foxy from above, that elevated position didn't do the job. Destructive himself from an elevated angle will not be delivering the coup de grace onto Alive. He'll be saving that operator and be handing the round over to Finest.
Yeah, the important kill there was Foxy. If Foxy found that kill in towards heaven, it's a different story. Then it's back to numbers being even, Alive in for a wrap coming through. Completely different retake, completely different scenario. Not the case. In probably one of the most important rounds, not only in this map, but this series. Finest come out on top, and this has kept the dream alive for them for potentially taking, or at least attempting, to make it a takeover towards XL's map pick.
In the interview with Bonker yesterday, it was illustrated their mindset about playing this game. It's always round by round, moment by moment, game by game.
I like that.
And I think this is the exact mindset you need to have in this position. You can't be thinking we're down a map, our own map pick, we're down 5 rounds. It's all about one round at a time.
Especially
and
when you consider
with this
yesterday.
win, it's perfect.
Yeah, and you know, when you consider yesterday, right? If you're talking about mentality and mindset, it's pretty safe to say that Finest was in a little bit of a rough spot after the 11-2, 12-4 choke. I mean, anyone's would be. It doesn't matter how strong mentality you are, right? That is going to take at least a little bit of a toll. I'm glad to see they've mentally reset.
Alive has been spotted. Likewise, himself knows his presence lingering around the left extremity. Mid heavily contested by Finest. Wow. No one from the B site for Excel, really. This is a very solid and default approach from both teams. Alive, though. Oh, this could be interesting. This could be very interesting. Shot missed. He's getting the hell out of there. Realizes, all right, I may have been too far out of my depth, but they don't know where he's fallen back to. And they're looking to push even further. And he doesn't have reinforcements, Neo.
And especially in terms of firepower, he's the only buy here.
This is crazy. Alive has got the only gun, as you said, and he gets one. We'll go for another peek, but he's too far out of his depth. And he can't swim. He cannot swim. Therefore, he will fall. Chihuahua. Wow, wow, that was a beautiful kill.
Like a stone in water trying to find anything here, but the shadow saw.
Foxy bringing the Bora inside of me. Kicks and Destructive. Oh, they're all down there. Panic is able to trade it out. Destructive. Oh, he's faltering, but he's got a Vandal. That's the important part. Destructive, this is up to you, mate. Can you bring your team Finest back into this? Spray down. Oh, and he gets it. Oh, he's down to Foxy and Destructive. Omen v Omen. Spike touched, but not committed to, and Destructive knows this.
Oh,
he's so smart. He's so freaking smart. And Destructive knows he's only not even touched it halfway. Destructive with a quadra kill and a clutch to keep Finest alive in the game.
For 9, up to 7. I mean, that is just chess incarnate in the round. That was 2 of the smartest players in the server duking it out, and one was playing chess, the other playing checkers, as Foxy just couldn't keep up. Destructive was 2 steps ahead each and every time there, and that is how you play a clutch. Not only is it a clutch as well, it's 4 kills already to his impressive tally. What a performance individually from him. Up to 17. I mean, he has been just a god in the server, and now, of course, Finest only 3 rounds behind.
I can't believe this is actually happening. I can't believe these are the rounds we're seeing. This is the finest we wanted to see. The team that every single one of these individuals can bring out a clutch of the ages, but at the same time, Excel doing damage. Okay, push through, uncontested, taken over. Machina left behind to find off these rotations. He does get one, but does get shut down. Therefore, the numbers are equal on both ends.
Postbon set up as well. This is difficult to make their way back in. Utility once again denying the presence of Chihuahua, and the Hunter's Fury coming through, trying to find some info, and only spotting a bit.
Well, that's Yassine. They know at least where he is. Foxy moving in. Bonk could be contested. He's blind. He's paranoid. He has no clue what is going on. And meanwhile, the rest of the team doesn't know what's going on because Chihuahua's doing everything. And what's more, they know where Bonka is. The spray down comes through. Mo is there to stop him. Excel. Well, they get themselves an 11th.
Yeah, it's a textbook retake. I mean, it's really, really well done. All they had to do was play timing to their advantage. They knew they had to just buy a little bit of time for that wrap to come through its lower tunnels, and it worked really comfortably. Got all the information they needed. They had a pretty decent idea about how Finest had set up that post plant. It worked so comfortably. Now up to 11. They're 2 rounds away from the elusive 13. Take the map and the series, and the pressure once again changes course. But we look over towards Excel, and yes, they just won that round. Yes, they're up to 11. The buy, though, a little bit sort of all over the place. I mean, you look towards Alive, he's going to go for the Blade Storm here in support, but Foxy's only got a Spectre, a Bulldog for Pat 6. Not a dream pickup, to say the least. Paranoia will come through, and already going aggressive. Blade Storm finds nothing. Oh, no, that's awful.
That's a blunder.
You hate to see it. You really do.
They took a chance. Did not pay off. And Excel now on the back foot. Finest will take it. They were able to win 3 consecutive rounds before it was stopped by Excel with that tremendously beautiful retake. Paddy Tech a very deep mid position, but Finest don't even want to peek him. They've gone all the way around spawn. Challenge for mid kicks eventually picks that one up. So little by little, Finest just increased that advantage further.
Only one Blade Storm knife actually hit kicks over towards C-Long. I mean, that was really the crucial thing there. And now you look, a double Vandal setup of Chihuahua and Mo in a 2 versus 4, and a difficult 2 versus 4 at that too.
If it's any duo to do it,
it will be these two.
Mo and Chihuahua. Mo is going to be the first one to be contested, though, so a lot is on his plate. Oh, that recon. Oh, that recon, but it doesn't matter. He's getting out of himself! Oh, he got himself out of the pickle jar. He's able to unscrew the top, and now he's devouring the pickles whole. He wants more of those damn pickles!
God.
The final one left. And this time, he's turned it around. It was a 2v4, and Mo does it all by himself!
Mo, the genius. What a round from Mo to be able to turn that on his head. How? Take a bow, Mo. That is monumental. And that, for me, should go down as one of the most important rounds. Because from a 2 versus 4, they've changed the ties. They've turned the momentum. And they've now put Finest with their backs against the wall, the pressure on their shoulders, and really pulsating with confidence. I cannot believe how Mo was isolated 4 fights there.
We said it right before the play. If it's any duo to do it, it's Mo and Chihuahua. But it didn't even come down to the duo. It was just Mo.
Should have put money on it, man. I should have believed.
This is why these guys are so good. This is why they were our Pathfinders the previous season. And this is why they're on the way of doing the exact same thing again in split number 2.
Number 1 seed, and for goddamn good reason. Don't sleep on Excel. Don't sleep on Mo. That is brilliant. Finest are crumbling under the pressure now with Excel needing 1 round. That's all they need for the map and the series to go towards that best of 5 grand final with a map under their belt as an advantage. And you look over towards Finest. Yes, they've called for a timeout, but look at what the buy is going to be like coming in towards what potentially could be the final round. A double Bulldog, a Spectre, a Judge, a Sheriff, and a bit of utility. Half armors as well. They are in a awful position.
This is not comfortable for Finest at all. What can they rely on, though? Let's look at the good side of Finest's play. They've got a Hunter's Fury. They've got some weapons to work with. They're grouping up together towards a C position, but they'll be greeting Chihuahua and Foxy there. Paranoia utilized. One-way smoke for Chihuahua. They're looking to push through it. They're going to play this aggressively, but do they know he's so close?
Oh, no.
You don't usually play so close when you've got a one-way smoke like that, but they read it. Chihuahua ends up falling. That is a Rolling Thunder already expended. Destructive close by with a judge. Maybe Finest will survive for a little bit longer. Mo closing up that gap. Mo finding another kill. Alive also joining in on that fray. Kicks. He knows exactly where Mo is. It's Mo to do it once again. It's Mo to do it once again. And they're running away from him. They're so scared of him.
I am scared of Mo. He is brilliant. The stoic god of XL's team is down to a 1 versus 2. Can he clutch it again?
But this is a Finest story. This is of them trying to redeem themselves, trying to prove the haters wrong, and try and remain in this game to keep this in check.
Surely not. Not again.
This is their round to lose. Battle their own demons, and they will not lose this time around.
If he had isolated that fight the other way around, not the guy holding him, he looked at the guy, the crossfire setup, he aims at the wrong person. If it was the other way around, that's a different story. He could have made that transfer oh so easily. The story remains alive. It's still got a couple of pages left in this book. We have to see how they pan out, how the author wants to write this narrative. There's a 4-round deficit that Finest have to be able to catch back up. Safe to say, it's asking a lot. Not impossible, but improbable as we stand. But you look over towards XL, and now they're in a little bit of financial woes themselves. We're looking at a 2008 financial crash once again.
Oh, wow. Yeah, fair enough. We've seen 11-2s converted to victories in overtime. We might be seeing that one again. Okay, very quick succession of kills. It seems XL want to get this round done and dusted with quickly. And, yeah, you know, they're not getting anything out of this. So, a breather for Finest, definitely. Increase that confidence, build those ultimates. Still a mountain to climb, though.
I mean, to be honest, if Chihuahua finds anything in this, right, even a kill or two, it will be a little bit costly. Does get a second. Hang on a second.
What?
We're not done here.
Chihuahua says no. Chihuahua says
Imagine.
it's not going to be that easy.
Imagine.
Well, he switches up the position, ends up heading towards heaven. Machine on the far end corner. Man, this guy, even when all the odds are up against him, makes us believe in him.
With a Spectre. He found 3 kills.
On
with
that
a Spectre.
distance.
In a 1 versus 5 as well. I mean, fair play to him. I said, you know, if he can find 1 kill, he makes it a little bit expensive. He damages the long-term economy of Finest too. And he triples it. He finds himself 3 kills. So that is a real shining light. It's a silver lining in a bad situation to keep XL just in that advantage. Not only have they got the numbers, but they're still going to limit that slight economy over towards Finest. And you can see that, you know, Bonko's gone for the Vandal, but he's only got half armor. Utility might be slightly lacking too. Might not be able to upgrade the pistol either. XL, looking not too bad.
They're making me believe in the Northern Europe dream.
Yeah.
And
I counted them out.
Of Polaris. I had that dream. I had that hopium. I had that copium last split. And they are making me believing it once again.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Filling up my hopium canisters. You better not disappoint me, XL. Finest though, you know, they're also starting to have some hopium amongst their ranks, right? It's not looking as bad as it did yesterday. What can they do to come back?
You know what it shows for me? In this region, there is life. Even past the #1 seed of that of XL, there's plenty of teams who can compete, and we still have breadth within, you know, tier 2 of Northern Europe and the UK scene, right? This is a really, really good showing so far. I mean, XL on #1 seed, the reigning champs, and they are being pushed the full distance here on their map pick, a map in which they've been notoriously brilliant on. And still, this is going the entire way. Unfortunately, we're on a tech pause here, which in potentially could be one of the last rounds, but I agree with you. I am starting to see a bit of hope. XL have been brilliant for me. And if they close this one out in a little bit of a dominant fashion here to close things out 2-0, maybe, you know, going in towards the final, of course, there potentially is hope for Northern Europe in the future.
Technical pauses can be so mentally draining.
Yeah.
Especially when you're on the verge of a comeback. You might feel that the rug has been swept beneath your feet.
It's horrible, isn't it? Especially for Finest. I mean, this is a kind of an important time for them. Momentum's looking really good, and now it's gone.
This is difficult for Finest. Remember, XL have got 3 ultimates available, while they only can rely on the rolling thunder of kicks. The decision is made. A-site approach is theirs. XL themselves have gone for a little bit of a scouting party out in mid. they're not relieving the pressure. They're simply walking and waltzing in as if that sight was theirs to begin with.
They're wrapping through, but Mackin's all too aware of this Hunter Spirit to come through. That's a lot of info gain and a very good chunk of damage too. And a kill. Yassine all fall, that's important.
Damage on the kicks, damage on the bonker. And kill onto Yassine. Patitech with another kill onto Machina. This could be the beginning of the end. Alive with another. This is Finest with 2 players. 2 up against the 4 of Excel on the brim of closing out this game. How are you going to do this? Mo walking in, Kicks able to find another bonk into the corner, and it's got the assistance of his teammate. He's buying the time, Kicks again.
No.
Kicks has to fall. Excel get it done. Excel get the defuse, and Excel grab the entire series and lock their spot in the grand finals of Polaris.
Back to my workshop.
Excel absolutely walking away 2-0 in both of the games that I've played here in the finals. In the playoffs, stage 2 Polaris, Excel proved themselves once again that they're a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. What a banger of a match Excel had, especially on those defensive sides. Really good pushes. On the last round, literally, that flank costed Finest the whole round. Being able to push that far on the flank alive and another player then pressuring on the other side as well was so hard for Finest to just cut off, and there was not a chance. Sure, there was maybe a little bit of a chance for a comeback, but Excel was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be hard, right? When we looked at how the map pool was coming on through, and the fact that Finest lost that first map, their first pick, and then they had to move into Haven, a map that XL fielded. And we could see right from the get-go that there was some serious mental and communication issues, right? Coming on through. That mentality was just a little bit lacking from Finest. Well, we saw the communication breakdown. There were certain rounds where you could even count 4 seconds would go by, where 2 players from Finest side would go down, and both of those players did not communicate to the other remaining members where things like Alive were sitting on backboard side on that B side, and it cost them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was really tough for Finest to work around this Excel, and especially when Excel had already 8 rounds in the attacking, the utility was perfect. And one of the things I was saying about Finest, I think they should venture off the KO. I think Kicks is so comfortable with that, and the utility, they could deny that better from Excel. Also, look at this round. What is this? I have missed me some Mo highlights.
Like, Mo is just clicking heads, not clicking the feet. And a couple of question marks, as you mentioned yourself, Moxie, to be thrown at the comms of Finest. I felt like after the timeout that they took, it actually went downhill.
Yeah, there were 2 specific rounds, right? So first of all, we mentioned the fact that it is destructive up against Alive. 2 players from Finest have already gone down. And Alive is able to not only swap off from the rifle, but go into the classic pistol. 4 full seconds going through, and you still managed to get that pick onto the Omen. And it is actually going to be 2 Omens that are going to be the MVP for both of these teams. Destructive doing as much as they possibly could with the smokes, with the paranoids, trying to set up the rest of the team. But unfortunately for them, they kept losing players very early on in these rounds, so all of the utility that the Omen was trying to provide, it just didn't have the numbers to be able to push it into kills.
Yeah, Foxy on the IGL roll, still coming out on MVP on that Omen in their game against Finest. They secure a 13-9. But again, it's not to take away from any of the players on the XL roster.
No, absolutely not. And I'm actually glad that we see Foxy as an MVP, because you see these other 4 players. It's really hard for Foxy as an IGL, as a controller, to even get that MVP, and he's been able to get that. Also, the clutch on Icebox, that was so good from Foxy. He's been popping off individually as well, and popping off from his mid-round calling and calling overall. You can definitely see it on this team. And I mean, Mo 2.2 KDA as well. The ACS from this team are really good. Patitech obviously doesn't quite get on the board, but as a bridge, you just want to support your players. I think Patitech, when he plays that, plays the KO, plays the race, he's just insane. And right now, their role in this map was to support the players.
Something we said about Excel before is that yes, Patitech is one of those star players on the roster. He's very good at his job. He knows how he wants to play it. He's good at whether it's playing supportively, very selflessly allowing the team to shine, or on the other hand, he's the one flashing himself in. But this time around, even though Patitech didn't perform as well, the team still came out on top. So is that more of a strength specific to Excel? Because it feels like Finest don't really have that luxury.
So Excel always seem to be able to keep their cool. Right? We saw Icebox go really close on certain rounds. Haven felt like it was two different teams entirely. There were a couple of mistakes that Finest were making, and Excel is one of these teams where you can't afford to show weakness, because they will just use that communication, that coordination that they have, knowing that they can trust each other, that they can look for those trades, that their utilities can set themselves up, and they'll just rip and tear until that tiny little crack starts your composition entirely crumbling down.
Yeah, and I think when we talk about like Patrick not performing that well, I think it's a really, I would even say harsh thing to say, because obviously Patrick is playing these roles, played the KO on Icebox, played the breach that you don't really get the kills for. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's isn't performing. I think he performed tremendously as a contributor, as a support player on those rounds. But one thing, I saw that round 19 from Mo. Already from that, I know literally the move that Mo likes to do in the gym, and it's tries a cable push down. You want to know why?
Cut the cameras!
Because it goes like, Sue!
I regret telling you about this joke this morning. I cannot believe that you used it on broadcast today. But anyways, yes, Sue, the celebration coming in for Excel. There's the one that are going to be walking away with the win against Finest. They are securing themselves a spot in the final in the best of 5 with a 1 map advantage. But now we're going to be looking at Finest against Hukar again tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be interesting matchup, because both of these teams, they looked kind of shaky on the yesterday's matchup. They looked, I would say, not the best. Obviously, there were really good moments for both of these teams, but I would like to see some more consistency on both sides for tomorrow. I'm so excited to see this. It's the 3rd time that we're going to see this matchup.
Yeah, we also have a live for the interview, because, you know, we like to do the interviews for the winners. So live, welcome. Congratulations on the win against Finest. Was that the revenge that you were looking for?
Yeah, it was fun. I have a lot of respect and love to the org, but you know, a good revenge is always something you wish for.
Yeah, you're going to the finals. Who do you think is gonna come against you from this lower bracket? Hukars or Finest, and who would you like to face?
Honestly, like from the performance of the teams yesterday, of Hukars and Finest, like both can win, both can lose. I don't know, but I have no favorite, of course, to face. I just hope for the best match.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to ask one outside of the game question. I know you have a ping pong table right there. Who is the best player in ping pong from your team?
It's the coach. It's Jimmy. Jumpy is the best. He's the best by far. Yeah.
And I have to ask as well, like, we saw Icebox go extremely close, almost into overtime, and then Haven seemed to just finish a whole lot faster. Do you feel like there was any contributing factor for why we saw such a big discrepancy between the scorelines?
I don't think so. I just think they played good on Icebox, and we played better. And on Haven, there were no match, and that's it. That's simple as it is.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to go do the interview. I hope you guys enjoy your celebration. You're gonna be in top form tomorrow, that best of 5. We'll see you then. Have a good evening. Well, I heard some laughing in the background as well. MP, I really love that ping pong question. Is it because you got your you got absolutely destroyed in ping pong yourself by Ian?
That's not even true.
No,
That's not
okay.
even true. You have been fed lies.
Okay,
He's nowhere near my level at ping pong.
Yeah, he's above it.
Oh my god, what is going on? I mean, at least I'm above you as, as the height difference.
Can I have a box, please, production? I would really like to. Okay, tomorrow I'm wearing my heels and I'm getting a box as well. But final thoughts here as we wrap this day up. Unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to Kova. They're not going to be with us anymore. Hukars, they're going to be playing against Finest tomorrow in that lower bracket, fighting their way in a best of 3 to then the winner going towards the best of 5 final. And that is really scary because both of these teams, they've had such an incredibly difficult feat over the last 2 days.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you have to think as well that potentially these teams coming up against Excel are potentially having to have fought a 3-map series, right? When we saw Finance versus Hookahs yesterday, it went the full distance. We even had 2 overtimes coming into play. And on the other side, Excel can just sit back, they can wait, they can watch the match, they can see the strategies, the compositions that are coming out, and they're going to be warmed up, they're going to be ready. Whoever comes out on top of that Finance versus Hookahs matchup, they might already be exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously we have to talk about the weighted map advantage. Excel, if they win 2 maps, they win the final, which is really, really good for them. They are already showing really strong signs. But I want to touch on a little bit of that Finest Hookahs match as well. I'm kind of on the same boat that Alive said. It's really, really unpredictable because both of these teams, especially when we look at yesterday, they can win, they can lose, they can go 2-0, they can go 2-1. It could be a mystery. But I mean, that's for tomorrow.
I love how you say that it's unpredictable, but yet Genie out here getting those predictions right. I still have that Radiant symbol. I know you guys probably aren't fully aware of it, but I actually voted for Hookahs and Excel, so I'm going to be walking away with that Radiant symbol for today. Tomorrow is a new day, a new opportunity to get your predictions right, guys, but I don't know if you're going to have a chance to catch up. Either way, if you want to catch up on what's happened today or what's happening tomorrow or for the rest of the season, just follow the socials down below. You can click on, okay, wait, I can't click on the screen, but there should be links as well. Be sure to follow so you can stay up to date on everything Polaris related. We're going to be back tomorrow with an absolute banger. We got a best of 3 for the lower bracket, followed by a best of 5 finals. We're going to see you there, hopefully, because if not, you're going to be missing out on some incredible action. Enjoy the rest of the evening. See you guys tomorrow.
Party's over. Spike down A. One enemy remaining. You're welcome. One enemy remaining. Spike down.
Taken out.
One enemy remaining. Last player. Last player standing. Last player standing. Spike down A. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. Last player standing. Last player standing.
Coming through here, Shed is just right round the corner, waiting for them. They'll find 4.
He's actually saved by the Cosmic Divide. Ale good for 3 as well. Just tears through them.
Through that teleporter, a bit more safety, but he's right after him. Okay.
Harding with
Oh my god!
game awareness! But it's Alex to come up alive again. Ooh, destructive. Put him to his grave! Against 3, they know where he is. Spray down not available for him. Flash drive looking at punish it. Kicks gets 2!
Chihuahua's still there, rolling, but because that Chihuahua picks up 3!
Position, they can hold this crossfire.
Oh no!
The collateral double kill!